Hey Donna, always.
Hey, Greg, how are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Welcome, Laker fans, to the Purple Blood Lakers podcast by Laker fans for Laker fans. This is a special off-season edition based on the opening of the free agency, and boy, there's a lot going on.
A lot.
A lot. So where do we start? Do we start with Brooke Lopez signing with the Clippers?
Yeah. I mean, whatever. I mean, I was okay with him, but I really wasn't all that excited about him.
I didn't like the lack of being able to get off the floor.
Yeah,
But the defensive effectiveness has hung in there for the past couple years, but it's been in decline. And this could have been the year where he just can't block shots anymore. I don't know. It was
right.
risky, I think, but I would have accepted it a backup.
Me too. I would have, but you got to remember he played in the East too. They play a little slower. The
Yeah,
West is pretty, everybody runs in the West, and I'm not sure if he could have been as effective with the way the teams run in the West. But
yeah.
I would have been okay as a backup signing, but
But then
I
that puts
wasn't
you
like
at
all mad about it.
but that puts you at 7 million, eight tops. They paid him 9 million a year, so just like
Hey,
DFS. Okay, so let's move on to DFS. Uh, did you hear the rumor about Rob and all this stuff?
no.
So the rumor is, I don't like spreading it because I don't even know the source, but we lowballed him with our offer, and when uh, we were talking to other teams and kind of bad mouthing him to try to get his offer lower, and
Oh, I don't believe that.
it got back to DFS, and that could have impacted his decision. So
I don't believe that. I think DFS went there because there's no sales tax. Because the Lakers had the same offer, the extension, but he get the same money going to Texas and no sales tax. He could play with Durant and all them for four
plus
years.
10%. Yeah,
Yeah, I'd take that.
I thought we didn't give him 4 years.
I don't know. We might have given him three, but he's 32. I'm tired of the Lake. Actually, I like DFS, and if he wanted to stay, I would have been okay with it. But
Yeah,
I'm tired of them signing these old guys. And
yep,
then when they get 35 and 36, we're still sitting on a big contract.
yep.
I'm just ready to go, not young, but some young and more athleticism. And just, I'm tired of these old guys. I mean, he was great this year. We still didn't get out of the first round. So I know he was Luka's friend, but I heard there's going to be maybe a sign and trade now because they can't afford him and Capella. So they're going to have to do a sign and trade. So we may get something back for him,
For who?
for Dorian Finney Smith, because they're trying
Oh,
to
it's
sign
turned into a
him
sign
and
and
Kent.
trade?
Yeah, that's what they've been talking about lately.
But they don't have Capella, do they? Oh, they
They
just
want to sign Capella, but they don't have the money to sign both of them.
well, wait a minute. I think I read that Capella's already signed.
I think he's agreed, but
Oh
they
yeah,
ain't signed
they
on
say they
paper.
say agreed to.
Yeah.
Let's see. This one was Mason Plumlee to Charlotte for 3.6 million. I wonder why he didn't show up on the radar. He's a wonderful lob threat,
Yeah.
and he's
I
fast.
think a lot of, I don't know. He might be able to start there because they done got rid of their centers over there. Because they sent Mark Williams over to Phoenix. But I think they drafted some kid too in the a big kid in the draft. Charlotte, that's where players go to die too.
Mm.
So he wants to go there, fine.
Did we? I'm just wondering, do we have any interest in him? If not, why not?
I don't know. I didn't see his name.
Never came up, and I'm surprised by that. I don't even know
Mm-mm.
why I didn't.
I've always liked him,
Me too.
but I could care less if we got him or don't get him. Um, I don't care.
Man, but when you think about defensive presence and lob threat, he just really fills the bill. Anyway,
Yeah,
Clint Capella has agreed to a 3-year, $21.5 million deal with the Houston Rockets.
yeah. Agreed to, yeah. So they said they can't get them both. So they have to do something. So they're going to try to do some sign and trades to make the numbers work. So we may get something out of the deal. I want that one kid, the kid that we should have drafted, Cam, the athletic, what was his name? Cam. And we drafted that guard, that point guard instead. he fell in the draft and Houston picked him up. Um, anyway, I like him. He burns us every time he plays us. Cam, I can't remember his last name, but anyway, I would love to get him in the trade. I mean, in the sign and trade to get something, get some athleticism back for Dory
Was he a
Finney-Smith.
guard or a wing?
No, I think he could play the guard, but I think he's like 6'7", 6'8".
I think I know who you're talking about. Was he like
Cam,
rookie of the year or something 2 years ago?
no,
Because they had
but
two
he's
rookies of the year in a row.
yeah, no, he didn't get it. He fell in the draft because he had some issues in college, and so he fell. And they thought the Lakers would grab him when he fell, and we took Hood Schifino instead of him.
Oh, good God.
He's an athletic, can shoot the ball, can score. So I don't know if they're going to give him up because now they have Durant and they have Dory Finney-Smith. He kind of plays the same position. So and he doesn't make a lot. I mean, I think he's on a rookie deal or something. So we may get him back. Whitmore, Cam Whitmore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somehow I'm thinking San Antonio in my mind, but we're talking about Houston. They're really stacked now.
Yeah, they got a lot of players and they keep signing people. So I'm like, where are they getting all this money to sign people? See, I wanted Clint Capella as a backup.
I like him, but I just don't know how far down he's declined. I really want some youth.
Yeah, I take some youth too. I want a center and then a backup, and then I want to go with one of the young guys, either Koloko or the other kid, Jemison,
Right.
as the third center.
I like Koloko between the two of them.
Yeah, that's what people keep saying. So Koloko, I think, is he a free agent or is he? I don't know if he's still on the two-way deal because I don't know if they had him on a two-way deal 2 years. You only can do it 2 years. So they may have to sign him. I haven't heard his name, but I like him over the other one. But
What do you think of Cam Johnson for Michael
I
Porter?
know that was a killer deal there.
Brilliant, brilliant move. And
That
that's
was a
while
good
while
move.
they're down a GM.
That was a great move for them. I knew
Give
they
him
were
a,
getting rid of Michael Porter Jr. I knew they were getting rid of him, but I didn't know where he was gonna go.
but to get that kind of youth,
Yeah.
and to get
That defensive presence, that's what they needed.
defensive presence and to open up your mid-level exception.
Yeah, and then they got Bruce Brown back.
And they got him back, so they're making winning moves. And didn't they get a
Yeah.
backup? Did they get a backup center?
I don't know. Maybe some of these centers I ain't never even heard of because the game is going back. Big men are a commodity now.
It happened first day
Yep.
of the free agent.
Yep, you can tell.
So we got to go back and cover the draft. The Lakers finally drafted an athlete.
I know, finally. They kept moving up and I go, who are they trying to get? I couldn't figure out who because I wasn't listening. I have cut off NBA basketball for the summer. I didn't even watch the playoffs that much. I kind of just cut away from it and said I'll pick it up next year because I just was tired of it or whatever. So I wasn't really listening. But when the draft came up and I'm like, we have the 55th pick. Who we paying? Then they kept moving up and moving up. And I go, who are they trying to get? But this athletic kid, I think I like him. He played for Calipari.
He shoots 27% from three.
Yeah.
The story is that he hasn't grown into his hands and his body yet. He had
Yeah,
a
he's young.
recent growth spurt. That has worked out well, that prediction in the past. So let's see how that works out for us.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Like you said, finally picking an athlete, like some real athletes, because even though I want to win now, but I'm just tired of the older guys coming and then it's still not resulting in a championship.
To me, the worry, of course, is that we're stacking up our offensive deficit that starts with Vando.
Bando,
Vando. First of all, I'm hoping that we can get some rapid progress on the shot under good coaching and development,
and the hands.
which is what we're committed to in terms of our organizational strategy.
Yeah.
So that makes it a reasonable trade from that perspective. But what I also see is he's deadly accurate in terms of finishing, which Vando is not. Vando can't shoot nor finish.
That's the problem. That's what they said. His hands were so bad this year on finishes. I'm like, what's
It's
the
so
problem?
bad.
Yeah,
And this
that's
guy,
what I
he's trying to dunk in your face, and I like that attitude. And quiet is kept about Dalton Connect's aggressiveness to the rim.
yeah.
We keep talking about him as a shooter, and
They ain't gonna get rid of him either, I don't think.
well, I feel
You think
like
he gonna go in the trade?
I feel like JJ wants badly to get rid of him. I think JJ,
I think he's the only guy that people want. I think when you look at our team, Rui Hachimura and probably him are the two people that they want. They don't want Gabe Vincent. They don't want Max
want
Kleber.
Austin. They want
They
Austin.
want Austin, but we ain't giving up Austin yet.
Hmm.
Um, but
What
I
about
don't know. Moving forward, I don't know if we can have Luka and Austin in the backcourt.
when is Vando's contract up?
I don't know. He signed one what last year? It was like $8 million or something. I don't know if it was a 4-year deal, 3-year deal, but it was like 7 or 8 million a year.
With this guy that we just drafted, you don't need Vando anymore. You almost have to throw him into any trade.
Yeah, I think they'll throw him in a trade, especially now that he declined this year, but he was coming off the foot surgery, but still, he declined. We always knew he couldn't shoot, but not being able to finish,
Right.
that's a problem.
Hmm.
So he may have to go. And you think they're going to trade Rui?
To me, that was the piece that I was assuming was gone already.
I thought they were going to trade him for a big man.
That's what I mean. That's probably, he has to be included in a trade for a young, viable, uh, skill.
Like who?
But that's when you start listing names, the list gets really, really short, really fast.
Yeah. I heard we getting Andre Ayton.
DeAndre, yes.
DeAndre, I mean, yes.
And I've always liked DeAndre since he shot 90% against the
I know.
Lakers in the playoffs.
I know when
He
we
was
played Phoenix that year, he killed us.
he was crazy good for them, and they
He
disrespected
was
him.
the difference.
That was the year that he wasn't getting along with their coach.
Yes,
And I feel like his career was affected by that encounter.
I think so too.
And I'm hoping he's still got enough in the tank to where, if properly motivated and
Yes,
given the right role,
yes.
he'd be a championship piece. That
Yeah,
guy's an athlete.
definitely. And we don't have to pay anything for him, but the
Right.
mid-level or whatever, because he's getting a buyout. And
Got
he
to
had a
get a
big
buyout.
fat contract.
Yep.
And for
So
1 year, and if he doesn't work out,
the
we
question is
can
whether his
scrap
agent
it.
would accept a 1 year deal, and I doubt it. I would try to get 3 years because he's
Maybe,
still young.
but
What is he? 28?
I don't. I see. I would go 1 year and go get the big deal next year because this year he can't get 35 million or whatever the hell he's gonna want
Hmm.
because he's doing a buyout.
Yeah, I think there's one team with cap over 30 million or something like that.
But they said he wants to come to the Lakers. Him and Luca had the same agent.
That's very helpful.
Hmm. So
Which gets us to the really big news of the day is LeBron's out here talking crap.
Bron ain't said nothing. That's
He wants
rumors.
to be with it. No, Chris Paul made a statement. Thank you, Lakers. It's been great being here, but we want to be with a winner. So we're going to look at your offseason moves and we're going to decide what we want to do. He
Chris,
bought a
Rich
deal.
Paul ain't said that. Rich Paul said he ain't talked to the Lakers about no trade, no nothing.
No,
He
Rich
said
Paul.
they ain't even entertained that
Well, Rich
conversation.
Paul said, I think it was as part of opting in, that let me go find it and quote it to you.
But that's just putting pressure on management, which I agree. You got to put pressure on management because Rob will.
But I went a
No,
little
I got to
further.
give. I don't know if Rob is. I mean, I like Rob, but I think they have to get rid of Rob next year and go with the big boys. But I think where Rob messes up is around the edges. Like if we don't get anything for Dory Finney-Smith, let's say, we gave up 3 seconds for him. So then for a half a season, and then he walks, and we get nothing in return. And we gave up three, second round picks that we could have used in a trade or whatever. And so some of those things, like when we let Caruso just walk for nothing and got nothing in return, they said around the edges is where he's messed up. He's giving people 2-year deals instead of 3-year deals. So after 2 years, you got to pay them, like Austin Reeves and and Max Christie. Some of those small things that weren't like a big deal back then. But when you look now, we don't really have any draft capital because we've given away stuff here and there. And then when they leave, we get nothing in return. So I'm hoping we get something for Dory Finney-Smith, even if it's a player and some second round picks or something to try to get something back for him because we got him and we didn't win. We were lost in the first round.
Hmm.
So, and then he didn't resign.
Hmm.
So you lose out on stuff, and draft picks are becoming so much more bigger only in the trade world. Because people are trading people for two first, second round picks. I'm like, when did second round picks get so big? But we've given them away in the past, a little bit here and there, and it's worked. But then if we don't win a championship or they walk, then we lose all of that capital. And that's where they said he's messed up around the margins because we shouldn't have never had to play AR after 2 years. We should have waited 3 years. Christie, we didn't have to pay him after the 2 year. Could have put him on a 3 year, stuff like that that just messes up your cap.
And then not having Ty Lue over a single year. Uh,
Yeah. We should have taken Ty Lue. We didn't want to pay him. What do you want to give? We didn't want to give him 4 years or something
right.
like
We
that.
wanted to timing to LeBron's
3.
contract as if LeBron wasn't going to re-sign. So that was just weird. It was
And
just,
LeBron wanted him. That's LeBron's favorite coach.
and what are you saying that in 3 years we're going to reevaluate where LeBron stays? That didn't make any
Yeah, that
sense.
was a bad move on. And Ty Lue wanted to be here.
Yeah.
But I like Ty Lue, but the Clippers ain't done nothing either.
He ain't won no
So
chips, and he's had a whole lot of talent.
he had
So
a whole lot of talent. Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm not mad at that move. I mean, I wanted him, and maybe he had more talent with us. He could have done something. But I think about the Clippers, and they're like this team every year, and they have talent. They keep getting players, but they can't win.
They keep
So
getting players. It's amazing.
it's amazing. That's why I said, what is Steve Ballmer giving these players? Because
Yeah.
what is their salary cap looking like? I said he's
Yeah.
probably going way over the salary cap
Hmm.
and willing to pay the taxes or whatever. But
I feel like
um,
Pelinka has been swinging for the fences since he arrived, driven by Clutch.
no,
And
that's driven by the Laker mentality. It's the Laker mentality has always been going for the bigs and then
that's actually true.
working around the edges.
We've never been good at rebuilding.
But being in LA is different. People have to remember being in LA is different. You
Yep.
can't just have a mediocre team here. It's just
No,
like
no.
tickets are too expensive. Stuff is just too expensive here not to have some stars on that floor because folks ain't gonna pay. I
Okay,
mean, I would love to build like Oklahoma City.
but they were down for 3 or 4 years while they built that, right?
I know. And Oklahoma's they're gonna go to the games regardless. They're gonna sell out.
Hmm.
Um, but I like us kind of looking in that, kind of getting some younger athletic guys around Luca moving forward and just going in that direction and quit trying. I mean, you can add a veteran piece here and there as you need them, but not getting all these veterans. And then, of course, the veterans want to get paid because this is Dorian Finney-Smith's probably last big contract. He's 32, and he had ankle
That's,
surgery in the
that's certainly
offseason.
that certainly factored in. And that ankle surgery in the offseason creates a bit of uncertainty that
Yeah,
because they're tired of absorbing. And
yeah.
so maybe this worked out right for us.
Yeah, if we get something for him, I'll be fine. I don't care if it's a draft pick, something. I just don't want him to walk for nothing.
But you texted me by mistake,
Oh
uh,
yeah,
and I went and
this
looked it
new
up.
kid.
I saw that we had picked somebody up.
Yeah, he's from. I think he played Sacramento and somebody else before Sacramento. He's
Right,
been in the league
Memphis,
three
maybe.
years.
Yeah. I never seen him or heard his name.
I
But
never really watched Sacramento unless we played him.
what are his stats?
They said it's very similar to Dory Finney-Smith, but he's a better scorer.
Better 3-point shooter.
Mm-hmm.
But how long is he?
I don't know. I think he's 6'8". They said he can
Wingspan?
play either forward position.
What's his wingspan? That matters to me a
I
lot.
don't know. I gotta look. And he's cheap, so shoot, I'll take it at this point. Let me see. I don't know what his deal is. I don't know what his wingspan is.
This was recent, right?
Jake LaRavia. I don't know who he is.
Is he on Real GM?
I don't know. Let's see. Who is this kid? He's young. He's 23.
Jake LaRavia. A
Mhm.
$12 million deal after they were unable to agree to terms with Dorian Finney-Smith. Well, Dorian Finney-Smith would have cost us 14 million. So we're talking about 6 million. So that's 8 million that got opened up. That's another.
Yeah. We're gonna use that, I think, on a backup center, I think. That's what they've been talking about. I don't know his wingspan. He's 6'7", says
Let's
on
see
here.
if I can find him somewhere else. Jake LaRavia.
They say power forward. Sounds more like a three to me. But I don't know his we remember we used to talk about wings all the time. We needed these 6'7", 6'8" guys.
Yes,
Now it's centers, right?
yes. He's 6'9.5" wingspan. Yeah, somebody's already done the analysis, and apparently they like him.
And he's cheap. And he's young.
Young, cheap, athlete.
Yeah.
Um,
We gotta get some of these players, man. I wish we could get rid of Gabe Vincent.
get rid of, you say?
Yeah, put him in a deal with Vando or something.
Yeah, we got. Where's that big gonna come from? Because everybody fell off the board on day one.
I thought DeAndre Ayton is a big.
Oh yeah, he hit 42.3 from three last season.
Isn't Ayton almost 7 feet?
Yeah. So yeah, that takes care of that, doesn't it?
Yeah, we don't have to trade for a big center.
And we can keep Jackson as a backup because he's not going anywhere. There's no more positions left.
Dang, Ayton is still only 26.
Aligns perfectly with Luca's timeline.
Yeah.
I thought
And
I read
Luca
27.
gonna make him better.
That's what I'm saying. I really do feel like he's got untapped potential. I don't think
Yeah, just
anybody, I
like
don't think
Chris
anybody
Paul
can be
made
good.
him better. Chris
Huh?
Paul made him better.
Oh, Chris Paul was there in Phoenix at the time.
Yeah, he was
Right. He
their
was
point
feeding
guard,
him
remember?
lobs crazy.
Yes.
Oh my God, you're so right.
Yes. And he stayed
Um,
in his behind, and pushed him and, got them lobs to him and stuff. And
Nobody could have been good in Atlanta. They're a guard centric
oh
team.
yeah.
They got a million guards.
Yeah. And they
Uh,
just traded for or they just signed Alexander out of Minnesota.
oh, is that where he went for 50
That's where he
something
went.
million?
4-year deal for 60 something million.
That's kind of nice. That guy is he's
They
not
got some
bad.
nice little young pieces.
Yes, they do. I think they need
Yeah.
to trade if anyone has any interest in Scoop, they need to trade him. He's too short.
Yeah. So
Not exciting enough for a short player. He's not a
right. Yeah, the Blazers are you think Drew Holiday's gonna stay with them or they
but
gonna
they
buy
got
him
rid
out?
of one of their best guards, which is Simon. He
I know it. He went to
he
Boston.
went to backfield for Tatum. Not a bad idea for Boston. That was a
No, that was a good
surprise
idea.
move. Yeah.
Drew Holiday, they paid big money, so he won a championship for them, and that was a good move to get him and get Simon. I just keep saying,
They
is
kept
he gonna get a
Drew.
buyout?
Boston
Drew.
kept Drew.
No, he went to Portland.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Is Portland
Oh,
gonna buy him out?
yeah. That's right.
Because they buying out Aiden right now.
I
So
I thought that was the weirdest trade for Portland. You don't need veteran leadership. Y'all still tanking.
I know it. I didn't get that move unless they're gonna buy him out or try to trade him somewhere
Mm,
to a contending team and get something.
mm.
I don't know. That was
Yeah.
a weird. I always liked Simon.
Yeah, I thought he was cool. I thought
Yeah.
it was cool when he was playing us alongside Damian.
Yeah. So they probably didn't want to pay Simon. I think his contract was coming up.
Um, speaking of Dame, CJ got traded away from the Pelicans, which they really went all in to get him. I didn't
I
understand getting rid
know.
of him. I guess they're making room for some of these young guys to step up.
Because they drafted I forgot who the Pelicans. Did they draft that kid out of Texas? Yeah, they moved on from him because he's always hurt too. They sent him to where'd they send him? And they holding on to Zion, huh? They will not let Zion go.
That's weird.
That is so weird. But they got Joe Dumars there now, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see. But he hasn't been healthy 1 year since he's been in the league. But they won't trade him. That's just amazing to me that they haven't got off of his contract yet. They could have had another center by now. And he ain't really a center because he was 6'8", 6'7". He's not that tall. Yeah, I think Jackson Hayes is pissed at us. I'd be okay if they don't bring him back. But as a backup, he's fine. But I'd prefer someone, I don't know who I prefer, but I don't know. We
With
still
Ayton
have Max
starting,
Kleber.
with Ayton starting, I would actually like
Hayes coming off the bench.
Hayes coming off the bench because Aiden's got that solid body, and
Yeah.
it gives you a different style with Hayes' likeness.
Yeah.
Here's the statement. LeBron wants to compete for a championship. He knows the Lakers are building for the future. He understands that, but he
Mm-hmm.
values a realistic chance of winning it all. We
Mm-hmm.
are very appreciative of the partnership that we've had for 8 years with Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka and consider the Lakers as a critical part of his career. We understand the difficulty in winning now while preparing for the future. We do want to evaluate what's best for LeBron at this stage in his life and career. He wants to make every season he has left count. The Lakers understand that and are supportive and wants what's best for him. That is a setup for a trade.
No, I don't think
That's
so.
what that statement is.
Because I don't think you trade LeBron. I think you let LeBron walk and get that money. Because every team is going to give you a bad deal. You're never going to get, to me, equal value. And when you trade stars, to me, you never get what comes back. I'd rather him play this year and not be happy and just walk next year and give us that $50 million back.
The market has. I'm glad he didn't sign an extension. I'm so happy about that.
Oh, I know. Me too.
I'm so happy about that. So
Yeah.
I'll take that blessing and walk with it.
Yeah. And if he's not happy this year, then, don't come back and give us your $50 million money. And I'd rather do that than try to do some trade that you're going to lose out on. People are going to be trying to rip you. It's just,
If
I
you
can't
could,
think of anybody I would trade for him that would help us, that
if
a team would give up for him.
if you could get, and I think you should be able to get a
Who?
young wing like we've been begging for, named Jalen or Jason,
Oh,
six
of
nine or
course.
above, with a 7'3" or higher wingspan, and some draft picks, and even some more.
We ain't getting neither one of them. He don't want to go to Boston.
What made you say Boston? What did I say?
Jalen, one of the Jalen's.
No. I said someone named. This is my joke about
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. The
the
Jalen
players in the league.
boys.
There are so many guys named Jalen or
And
Jason,
we don't have none of them.
and we don't have none of them. They're all 6'9" and above, and they're all
That's
so
true.
effective on both ends of the court. And
That's
I
true.
love watching them play, and I wish we had one. So if
Yeah.
we get one of those, last name optional, for
Yeah.
Ron,
Who are they?
and also get some picks.
Yeah,
Uh,
we'd have to get some picks. But
uh,
everybody knows we want to trade him. So people aren't going to give you what you want. That's the thing for me. I'd rather go get what I want.
I
Because
was
next year
thinking
they say free agency is going to be really big next year compared to this year. And if he walks, give us that 50 something million back and let us go out and get the guy that we want.
and I know that's a big deal for the Lakers to keep 2027 cap
Yeah.
space. But a team that I think might be desperate enough to go for it would be Milwaukee with Dame down.
But he has a no trade clause. So he's only certain places he want to go. I heard it's Dallas
He wouldn't want to play with Giannis.
because they ain't got nothing else.
Yeah, but he got
No.
something else.
I don't know if I heard Dallas, Golden State. Those are two teams I heard.
I heard Dallas too. And if we could get Gafford and Del
Christie.
and our first round pick back, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, give us Christie back
Yeah.
and a first
Christie,
round and a center.
Christie would
But
help cover for the loss of Dodo.
yeah,
He's a nice defender.
yeah. So I don't know. It could happen in the middle of the season. I mean, he understands, and it's fine. I mean, everybody understands. We all understand, and we're building around Luka now. So we got to get younger. We got to get more athletic. These teams out west are athletic.
Golden
Lots
State.
of wings.
I
Lots
won't
of,
take
you know.
I won't take back Draymond Green under any circumstances. I'll protest.
No, we don't want that.
I'll paint signs and walk around out front
No, we ain't doing that. I'll be like, go ahead and walk, and we do a sign and trade. But if you're gonna go to Dallas, we're gonna do a sign and trade for you to get your money because, of course, they don't have the money to pay him. They
I
wouldn't
thought
have 50 something million.
if he picks up his
He did.
option, he picked up his option. Does that mean we can still sign and trade him to a longer term deal?
We can sign him. We can trade him after I think December. I think you can trade when people opt in December 14th or something. So we could, but if he wanted to walk next year and he still wants to
Oh, you're
get
talking about
paid,
next year. Yeah. I agree.
he still have to do a sign and trade because nobody has 50 million if that's what he wants. Dallas don't have that kind of money. So he's gonna have to do something unless he's willing to take the minimum and go play over there or something, which I doubt it.
Well, I'm sure he wants to play with Kyrie and AD. I'm sure
Yeah.
he
But I
sees
don't think
that
he
as
gonna
a
but I still don't think he's gonna take no minimum for that. He
if
ain't doing no $2.5 million.
I want back PJ Washington, Doug Christie, and our 2029 first round pick.
That'd be good.
And then
And then we
everybody
can move Rui back to the 4, which is his better position anyway.
they would offer us one of those centers though, probably, wouldn't they?
Yeah, Lively or Gafford.
But if we sign Aiden, would you still want one of those? I'd rather Lively if we signed Aiden.
They ain't gonna give up Lively, I don't think.
I don't want. I've not seen enough from Gafford. I mean that already we already tried that with Luca, didn't we?
Yeah, he was hurt a lot this year.
Yeah.
But I want to watch. I mean, they keep talking about all these centers, but I gotta watch. Some of them are good on certain team. And when you have Luca passing you lobs, everybody looks good, right? Like Jackson Hayes looked fantastic.
He did.
But then when it came to the playoffs, folks pushing him around, then it was over. He couldn't get those lobs. But I got to see some of these names I keep hearing. I don't watch them enough to see if they're like really good. But we know Aiden is really good. He just needs some motivation and needs to be playing on a good team. He's a big kid. He can shoot and he can, because we haven't had a center, although we don't play that style. We don't have a center that we can just dump the ball down to get a basket since we lost AD.
Of course not. That was a big.
Yeah. So we need a center that we can dump the ball. I mean, we need a high fly act too, but we need
Yeah,
a center that we can dump it down to as well and get a couple of points.
that would have been Brooke Lopez.
Yeah, but I didn't want Brook. 9 million for him. I just think he's old. And
Me
every
too.
time they come to the Lakers old,
It
it
doesn't
don't
work
work
out for
out.
us. Nope.
Mm-mm.
So one more trade. Uh, I think we not trade, but asset we picked up. We picked up Angel Reese's brother.
Yeah, and Exhibit 10 where they go to summer league and play.
Yeah,
And we picked up that kid from Villanova, the number one scorer in NCAA, Eric, played for Villanova. He was the leading
I
scorer in the NCAA.
I didn't follow, but that sounds wonderful.
Yeah. And then we
Why did he go
picked up,
undrafted? Is he what's his
he
deficit?
went undrafted. Eric
Why? If
Dixon,
he's the
maybe?
number one scorer, why did he? What's wrong with him? Is he
I
short?
don't know.
Hmm.
Eric Dixon, I think that's his name.
I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah, they signed him the first. He was the first one they grabbed right after. Maybe he did like Austin Reeves. You remember Austin was going to get drafted in the second round and he asked him not to draft him.
Yeah. Hmm.
He's 6'8",
Oh my.
265. He averaged
Oh.
23 points a game last year.
Oh. Wingspan?
Oh no, I don't see the wingspan on here. You can probably find it. This doesn't say the wingspan. He was a senior. He's 23 years old. They don't like doing the old guys.
Yeah. What's his name again?
Eric Dixon. So the Lakers grabbed him. So we'll see him in summer league. And they drafted that point guard out of remember the point guard for North Carolina, RJ.
40.7% from three? What the hell?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. And I didn't hear anything about him that he was dropping in the draft or yeah, I didn't hear anything all of a sudden. I was like, why didn't he get drafted?
He's a bit of a tweener, I guess, at 6'8".
He could play the 3 probably if he's quick. But he's 265, so hell, he might not be able to play the 3, huh? It's probably
Yeah,
more of a power forward.
yeah, that's a big dude.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
I
see.
didn't watch Villanova much last year.
He's 6'7.5" barefoot with a 6'11" and a half wingspan.
Yeah, 23 points a game. I got to read a little bit more about why he didn't get drafted. Did he choose not to get drafted because he was going in the second round? Sometimes they like to not get drafted, then they can pick their team compared to getting drafted in the second round on some team.
Hmm.
And then we got RJ. What was his name? RJ, the guard that was North Carolina's point guard for the last 4 or 5 years. They picked him up in an exhibition 10 contract. And then they picked up Angel Reese's brother, and then they picked up somebody else. So they'll all be in summer league. Well, we'll see them in summer league, and then I guess they'll get invited to training camp.
Sounds like a fun summer league number one. It sounds like we're about ready to flush all these guys that have been hanging around for a while. Like I don't know, there was a skinny guy that was getting some time on the court, but never really caught on. I think he's probably done.
Yeah.
Um,
Some of these guys, I guess we don't have any. Do we have anybody on a two-way? Because you can have three people on a two-way. I guess Jimerson's on a two-way, huh? The big.
I think he is. We
Yeah.
never found out about Koloko, but he might be the other one because Jordan got signed to the full squad,
Yeah.
2 million something.
Oh, they might bring him back, huh?
No, they did bring him back.
Oh, they
Jordan.
bring him back. Yeah, I liked him. I liked
Yeah,
him as a backup.
he got signed today.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I like him. And he's cheap and he plays
Yeah,
hard.
yeah,
Nice back. I wish we could get rid of Max Kleber
yes.
and Vincent.
I'm okay with Vincent, like I said, because Vincent is a 6'3" guard that can guard a 7-footer. I don't know how he does it, but he gets his arms up and he's been so effective in switches on bigs that in our defensive style, I think he's actually far more valuable than we realize.
All right.
But
Hopefully he does.
13
He had
million,
a
he could
good.
do better. I don't want to just drop him, is what I'm saying. But at
No, but I
13
put him in
million,
a deal because he has an expiring contract.
if we put him in a deal, I wouldn't be mad if we got the right thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't really know what we need now because we got all, I mean, we done signed so many kind of 6'8", 6'7" guys. I'm like totally confused on who we got,
They've
who
been
we
listening to me.
need,
None
you
of them are
know.
named James, Jason or Jalen, but they all fit the characteristics. So I'm really happy. We got a lot to
Yeah.
choose from.
So I'm gonna really take a look at summer league. I mean, sometimes I pay attention to summer league. I try to catch the games, but I'm gonna watch it because I guess Connect is probably gonna play, I think, again too in summer league. And
First
so
game
we'll see.
against Dallas, which is hilarious.
I know, isn't that funny?
Yeah.
So Cooper Flag and all that. Isn't that a crazy? They have 1% chance to get the
Yeah.
first pick and they got it. You know that was a fix.
Save Nico's life.
It did.
Yeah.
But so I'm excited. I mean, I hope this DeAndre, when that goes through, then whoever we get as a backup, they can bring back Jackson Hayes, I guess. But Max Kleber is a shooting center, right?
Yeah, he can shoot it.
Yeah. So we still have him,
Yeah.
but they may try to put him in a trade.
Yeah.
But
All right. We about to run out.
okay.
So thank you, Laker fans. Another
Yes.
one in the can for the Lakers Purple Blood Lakers podcast for Laker fans by Laker fans. Featuring Donna Who's Always Right, who haven't been around.
I'm back. We're back. So we'll probably do something when we get a little bit closer when summer league hits and kind of see who gets in training camp and kind of see what we're looking like.
Sounds good.
All right. Go Lakers.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you.